Hello everyone, it's Hawkeye567 and we're back with episode 3, or day 3 of Don't Starve. And today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've jotted down a few little notes which I don't normally do while doing these kind of gameplays. I normally just do it sort of off my own head. But it's a few little points. With the last episode I was talking about going for an interview and how I was preparing for it, and I thought it might be sort of interesting to put across my way of preparing for an interview, because there may be some of you out there that's never particularly sorry, I thought that was a giant spider ready to attack me or something. Then some of you may not have ever really have had an interview scenario before, or maybe at that point in time where you will have to look at going for an interview, and it can be daunting. The whole concept of needing to go for an interview can put you off. So what I'm going to do is discuss what I did to prepare and what I think is some good ideas for preparation to go for an interview. So while playing this, I'm also going to try to build a house. I think it's possible. I don't know the rules on this, as I say, it's brand new to me, so we'll see if I can also build a house. Right, so here we go. For myself, the job I was going for was a analytical type job, and that position entailed me applying it in my own company. So there's two types of interviews you can end up going for. What the hell is that? I'll leave that alone. There's two types of interviews you can end up going for. There is the basically where you're on your own, so an individual basis style of interview, or there is the type where you are in a group. The one I was doing was a individual based one, so that's the one I'm going to really talk about mostly. What I did to prepare was I had a look online to try and find out the position, so information on the type of job that I was doing: data analysis, portfolio analyst. That way you get a good concept and a good idea of what they will be expecting, so you can then answer questions a lot easier than if you was to go in and have no preparation at all. Also, for preparing, some companies will give you like a almost like a breakdown of the job description, and it'll say in there what they're kind of looking for, what skills, and it's a good idea to get those skills in your mind and prepare questions that you think the interviewer will ask you, and what you'll answer those questions in the interview at that time, because you need to relate those skills. If you don't, then they're unlikely to look at you for the interview. So you need to be able to relate what's being asked of you to what the job entails. So analytical type job, I need to show that I can problem solve, and that is a tall bird. Whoa, no. Is he? He's coming after me, isn't he? Whoa, okay. Right, time to attack. Okay, right, I died. That was fantastic. So, that was not fun at all. I've not been on this for a few days, so obviously the new update has this. So, we're going to try and survive again. Okay. So yeah, they'll normally give you a data pack, so you can have a look through and try and establish basically what the job entails, so you can answer the questions when you're interviewed. That's the whole idea I was saying there. And you know, if it's a case you're going for a specific skill set job, then you want to be able to show that you have those skills, and to do that you need to be able to answer the questions showing examples of you doing those skills. So it's a good idea to think about what the interviewer will ask you, and then try and prepare answers to those questions. That way you'll be able to more easily prepare yourself and sound more competent when you're actually being asked the question during the interview. So it's all about prep work and having a good understanding. If it's a case that you're going for a specific type of job, and say with my example, I was working for a company and the job I was applying for was in the same company, it would be a good idea to ask someone who's already in the department if you know someone, or if not, just going up to someone who you know is in the department, or asking maybe a manager who's in there so you can speak to someone and get a concept of what they do, their day-to-day job, what they enjoy about the job, what they find difficult, what they think the company and the department is looking for. If it's a case that you aren't going, like in my case, going for a job in the same company and you can't do this, then look online, go to different job sites and have a look to see what has been, basically what has already been on job sites. They'll have basically a description and find out if there's any sort of specific skills that's on there, because maybe the job you're applying for, it doesn't say specifically we are looking for this type of person, so you may not think that you're looking for a certain skill set that you may actually have. So it's always a good idea just to check online and see what other companies are writing for that specific job, and in that way you'll always be able to actually put yourself forward as a good candidate. I'm just going to attack this rabbit, get some food. That was an easy kill, so I had to. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. Yes, I touched on it before about prepping questions. Have a look online. There is some brilliant, if you just search, all I did was literally search questions, good questions to ask during an interview, questions that will be asked during an interview, something along those lines. If you Google that, then have a look to see what people say is the likelihood, what questions are likely to be asked. That way, when you go in, you have some answers prepared, you have some idea what will be asked, you won't be caught off guard. And if I'm going to give one piece of advice for answering questions, I would always say, as much as possible, try to be honest, because usually if you are telling a story of something that didn't happen, trying to impress, you'll get caught out. It'll be a case of there'll be some aspect of it that isn't quite true, and they will be aware of it, so you'll end up probably getting caught out. So I would try and say, exaggerate on some truths, put more onus on say if it was a team effort, put a little bit of onus on what you did in that team, more about the team itself. So always concentrate on yourself, because in the end of the day you are in an interview, so you need to be able to say what you can do, but be truthful, because you don't want to look silly when someone's found out that you're actually telling porkies, and it's quite possible you would be found out with the questioning. Also, if possible, find out if there's any specific software or specific sort of techniques for the job you need to look for. So always be aware if you're going for, say, a type of an accounting job or analytical job like myself. Make sure you're looking up at what's the most popular software, see if you know how to use it, see if there's any sort of tutorials on YouTube or any other video sharing sites that you can look at, and that way it will give you some idea of what to do. Even if you've never used it before, you can sort of say, yeah, I've seen it, this is what I think is good about it, and you can give your opinion and maybe say, oh yeah, I've seen that, I think this programming is better for this reason. In that way it shows that you've put some research into it. You may not use the thing, but you've looked it up, so you've bothered to look, so it shows an interest in the job already. It shows that you're already sort of preparing yourself and planning to do something with the job. So that's always a good piece of advice. Before you go into the interview, if you are a smoker or a coffee drinker, I would recommend, first of all, don't smoke and don't have a cup of coffee before you go in. You may think it will calm you down. It probably will. Smoking, probably, if you are a smoker, it probably will calm you down, but it's a bad idea. And the reason for that is, if you're going into an interview and that person isn't a smoker and as myself being a non-smoker, there's nothing more disgusting than someone who's just had a cigarette. You can't, you know, it's horrible, but it may be something that will go against you, and you may not even realise that it's going to end up going against you. So I just would recommend not doing it. The coffee, I would say don't drink coffee, and the only reason I would say that is if you was to drink a cup of coffee, have a caffeine rush, it actually will probably make you more nervous if you're already nervous, because all that will happen is the caffeine is gonna increase all your senses. So everything you are feeling beforehand, you are now going to be feeling at a much more extreme rate. So that's all I would really say on that is, if possible, try not to. Same with energy drinks, really. Just try not to. But it's up to yourselves with that. It's just my opinion. What else have we got? So, oh, bugger. Just cut these real quick. Yeah, so with the interview, always remember, you know, you are sort of being judged, so sit up straight. Don't make yourself... Oh, fuck, I didn't mean to eat them. I was meant to add to fuel. Don't make yourself really stiff looking and... Oh, backpacks! That was brilliant. They really needed to add backpacks. So, fantastic. We can add more stuff now. That is brilliant. Yeah, so with... Oh, shit. Yeah, with your interview, it sounds daft, but sit up straight. Don't make yourself too tense, because it will show and it'll make you look nervous when you're not, because you're prepared, so you know what you're doing, but you don't want to look nervous. The other thing I would say is, it sounds daft, but remember to smile. It puts the person who's interviewing you at ease if they think that you're a pleasant, smiley person. And not only that, it makes you feel a lot more at ease. If possible, try and discuss things with the person who's interviewing. So remember, you're not going in there for a chat, but just try and, you know, if you can get something out of the person you're speaking to, maybe ask them, you know, when they joined the company, what attracted them to the company, if it's a brand new company, what they enjoyed. These are sort of good questions to ask at the end of an interview. When you always get the question when an interview is finished is there anything you'd like to ask me? These are sort of good questions to ask there, because that way you can, you know, find out a little bit more information, and not only find out information about the company itself, but also find out information about the person. So it helps you build a rapport with the person if you can get some things out of them. Like, if you're quite a outgoing person, you probably will get that anyway. God, this is running a little bit longer. I'm trying to catch up to my last one, because obviously I'm a little bit upset that I had died. It was a bit gutting, but yeah. Here we go. Man, we need a science machine again. So yeah, always remember, smile. It sounds daft, but just remember, you know, you need to put them at ease. They may just be as nervous as you. They may be their very first interview, so they may not be used to it. And when you are talking to the person, if it's a room of people, answer the person you're speaking to. Obviously, that means eye contact. But if there is more than one person interviewing, remember to look around. Make sure you're speaking to everyone in the room. Don't have your head going, I'm doing it now, like left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Sort of jump in between them, because it'll just look like you've had a shitload of coffee and you're making yourself look like you have, you know, a few nerve issues or something. So it's a case of pace yourself and just speak to them quietly. It looks like there's some sort of monster around here. That doesn't look good. It looks like a monster there. We'll be careful. And yeah, that's definitely one technique. So I touched on it earlier as well, is at the end of the interview they'll ask if you have any questions that you want to There it is. Any questions that you want to ask them. As I said before, one good question is asking about what attracted them to the company, so you learn a little bit about them. And if you can get that in earlier, you know, maybe turn a question on the person who's interviewing you, so you have a good basis of what they enjoy, and then you can use their answer to help you with future questions. Because obviously if they're saying that they're a very competitive person, then you're a competitive person, because that's going to put them in the mindset of, okay, they're like me, they want to be number one, they want to finish top, and that's what I like, so we'll work well together. I really need to pick this grass. I really want to pick it up. Another good question to ask would be, as a company, what are the company plans? What sort of is the expansion plan of the company? You need to be careful when asking this, because you don't want to ask in a way of, well, what is this company plan? Making it as though you are almost judging them. But oh fuck, I've already got one. Alright, we'll just set one out here. But you do want to ask that kind of question, because it'll give you a basis of what sort of things to expect from the company, and it can help also increase your chances of getting the job. The question I asked was, I was asked what sort of things, what I thought I would enjoy about the job that I was applying for. So I decided to ask the person interviewing me what attracted him to the job, what did he find enjoyable about it. And he actually said, yeah, that's a really good question. This is what I thought was enjoyable about the job. And from there, you know, you find out a little bit more about the person. It's all about getting to know people. That way it sticks in your mind, like, oh, they're a considerate person, they're personable people. They have, you know, it's an enjoyment to interview them, it's an enjoyment to have them around. So things like that is always a good technique for that way getting yourself into the possibility of a secondary interview. So they're just some of the ideas that I had. I mean, if you had any more, then leave a comment and put them down and say what your favourite techniques are, what your favourite questions to ask while being interviewed or doing the interview, if you're the ones that usually interview. Let me know what you would normally do, and it'd help out, you know, anyone watching. So that's just, I need to get back to my campfire, which is over here, I think. They're just some of my ideas that I think are good. So anything you want to add, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know, and from there we'll see what we think is best, and hopefully we'll find out, you know, if this helps people with their attempts at getting jobs, or with their oh, can you not plant them? Can I cook them? Yeah. Yummy toasted seeds. So yeah, it can help you with getting a job or getting some sort of promotion. I did touch on group interviews, and what I would say with group interviews is, mostly I find the group interviews is about showing good listening, understanding other people's opinions. So it's not a case of I'm going to talk the loudest, you are going to listen. It's a case of I will listen to your opinion. I may agree with it, I may not. If I don't, these are why I don't. If I do, this is why I do. And in that way it shows a level of maturity, and it shows a level of understanding of other people's emotions and other people's opinions. And that's what it's about, showing the respect that you are a mature person. And that way they'll be interested in what you have to say, and possibly having you as a possible employee. And at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, being a possible employee. So if you did like this, I've already sort of started saying this, then leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what your favourite techniques, your favourite questions are. If you have any questions of, you know, my advice of what I would suggest, you know, for a certain interview, or I will be happy to answer. And obviously you can follow me on Twitter, and you can direct message me on there at any time. I'm kind of interested to see how big I can get this fire. I'm scared about burning myself down there, but I'll always reply, and I'll do my best to help you with any situations or scenarios you think you may struggle with. So let's build some logs. I'm going to try and actually research this, see if it gives me a whole lot of experience. So the opportunity to try and maybe build some house, good English. Thank you for watching again. I know I've kind of done this 3 times now, but I do appreciate your time, and remember, leave a like, subscribe or comment below. Thank you for your view, and goodbye.